For years, the Indigenous BlackFeet tribe of Montana have looked to the stars to guide their seasons. But the night sky is not just a rich source of traditional knowledge. Night skies are also a shared resource for all cultures who share our world. Unfortunately, this precious resource has been hidden by light pollution. Because of this, our film team decided to embark on a mission to visit Glacier National Park to participate in one of their certified astronomy programs, which provides visitors with the chance to see the stars through Glacier's Dusty Star Observatory telescope. But when our film team first arrived at the park, we experienced an unexpected detour. The Going to the Sun Road was closed. This inconvenience led our team to serendipitously meet Park Ranger Debby Smith, who leads the Half the Park Happens After Dark program and their efforts to preserve the dark night sky.
Hey Debbie, thank you so much for meeting with us. There's a couple questions that I'd like to start off with asking you, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So first off, how long have you been working here for? And could you tell us a little bit about where we are right now?
Yeah, we are currently in the St. Mary Valley of Glacier National Park with beautiful St. Mary Lake behind us. My position right now, I'm the Hudson Bay District Interpreter, which means that I supervise the staff that do all of the ranger programs and work the visitor centers here in the park. And I've been over here in St. Mary for about 5 years. But the other really cool part of my position is that I get to manage our park-wide astronomy program.
Will you tell me a little bit about Half the Park Happens After Dark and how it came to be?
One thing that we're really proud of at Glacier is that we were the world's first international peace park. So we've been doing astronomy here in the park since about 2008, and it was a handful of volunteers that would come and help with astronomy programs. We've continued to grow our project, and the Glacier Park Conservancy, they've helped to fund a lot of what we've been able to do in recent years. So now we have, more equipment, we have multiple volunteer astronomers that come, but we also have our Dusty Star Observatory, and that's a little bit different. It is a telescope that's inside, but it's a really high-tech telescope, and instead of having an eyepiece, it's hooked to cameras, and the advantage of that is that cameras can detect all sorts of light and create images that our eyes can't pick up on. Now we have 2 astronomy trailers and all sorts of equipment that we can use in addition to our telescope. So we've been really able to offer a greater diversity of types of programs. We've discovered just how important it is and how much interest there is in having astronomy programs in the park.
In your experience so far, what is the greatest threat that your wildlife's been facing today?
Obviously here at Glacier, climate change is a big challenge, and just worldwide habitat loss is a big challenge. But in terms of the project that I'm involved with, Half the Park Happens After Dark, it does have a really cool wildlife component to it as well. Often people think of how the night sky and darkness impacts people, but it actually is really important to how it impacts wildlife as well. A lot of wildlife require having darkness in order to be able to reproduce, or to be able to hunt, or just to be able to survive in their natural habitat. So actual loss of dark skies can be almost as impactful as loss of habitat. It is loss of their habitat.
Tell me a little bit about light pollution and what causes it.
Light pollution is basically unnecessary light. Light pollution is just like air pollution or water pollution. It's excess. And the reason that knowing about it is important is that there's a lot of things that we can easily do to change light pollution. So there's a lot of work that's being done by different researchers to figure out how we can best direct our light, whether it's with covers or just different strategies to be able to direct the light where we need it and keep it out of the areas where we don't.
How can people, specifically students, become involved in this project?
I personally just think it's really magical to think about the fact that the night sky is one of the things that we all share in common. Every single person over generations and generations of people have been able to look up at the same stars, and I just think there's something really compelling about that. I see this actually quite frequently, but I think every time it gets me is seeing somebody get to experience the Milky Way for the first time. It's something that's overhead all of us. I'm trying to think, the last statistic I saw was 80% of people can't go out in their backyard and see the Milky Way because there's too much light pollution or it's just not visible. And so people come here and they're like, what's that? That weird haze in the sky, or what is that I'm seeing? And they don't realize they're seeing our own galaxy, the Milky Way. One of the things that's so interesting about conserving night skies is that no national park was set aside specifically to do that. We didn't realize when a lot of national parks are being set aside that that would be a diminishing resource. And so we just by default ended up protecting that. And so now people come from all over to be able to come to places like national parks, like here at Glacier, to be able to see night skies. And so it's really important for us to continue to educate people on why that's important and provide them with an opportunity to be able to see those things so that they might take that knowledge and education and enthusiasm and just that experience of awe back to wherever they live and maybe help to promote that in their own communities.
Well, I think the both of us have so many more questions. Would you mind showing us around the rest of Glacier National Park?
Not at all. Let's go check it out.
Detours are often perceived as inconveniences. However, they can often lead to unexpected surprises. This was certainly the case for our film team at Glacier National Park as we delved into the Half the Park Happens After Dark program. Generous donations to the Glacier Conservancy continue to fund numerous initiatives and maintain long-term commitment to preserving dark skies. Our hope is this film will inspire others to take detours and discover the unexpected beauty and wonder of the world around us for future generations to enjoy.